Hello, my name is Kare and welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about matters faith, we talk about lifestyle and just a little bit of experience we have had in life. So in today's episode, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to do a get to know me video. And the reason I want to do this video, I decided to do this video is because I saw a lot of conversation about faith-based content creators, like Christian content creators, and I saw a lot of things about how you're supposed to conduct yourself, how you're supposed to behave, and it occurred to me that people care a lot about pleasing other people in the world as opposed to caring about doing the right thing, being on the right path with God. It's like they care about pleasing human beings and not God. And that's not me. So I want to talk about myself. Like I said, my name is Kare. And I am a researcher and of late, currently as a content creator, a faith-based content creator / lifestyle. And I just want to say I'm not the kind of Christian who lives like according to what people expect me to be. I only care about my relationship with God. That's the only thing I care about. I care what God thinks of me. I care whether I'm doing the right thing. I care about whether I care about other human beings. I care about being kind, being thoughtful, being compassionate, considering other people's needs and feelings. I don't like being put in a box. Let me explain. There's some Christians who say, like, for instance, if you're a Christian, if you dress in a way, like, let's say you're showing a cleavage, that's not very Christian. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I am not okay with dressing in like in a scanty way. That's not my style. But at the same time, I don't feel like you should put someone in a box that, let's say, they cannot dress in a short dress. They cannot show a little bit of cleavage, or they can't show, their shoulders. I don't like that kind. I am not the holier than thou Christian. I am not the Christian who thinks heaven belongs to you and everyone else has to work for it. I am the Christian who makes mistakes. I am the Christian who is human, and the Christian who believes in giving people grace. I don't know at what point we Christians became the most judgmental and cruel people towards each other. It's like most Christians, we don't even give each other grace. When a Christian makes a mistake, they are judged so harshly as opposed to someone who is not like a believer or a Christian. You find Christians don't give each other grace. They just don't. It's like you're supposed to live a certain way. If what you're doing is not against God's will, you're not ruining someone's life, and you're not breaking the 10 commandments, honestly, for me, I don't have a problem with you, because making someone feel like they can only live a certain way, that's why you find people doing things behind closed doors and then pretending to be someone else when they are in front of people. Then you become, you are a double agent, you have, like, you live a double life, and that is not a way to live. I like living my life the same way I live behind closed doors is the same way I live in front of people. Because, first of all, I don't even have the strength to juggle the two. Neither do I have the time. And most people, I won't even remember. So, I'll just end up looking like an idiot. Just be yourself. As a Christian, the only thing that should matter to you is what you're doing. Is it pleasing to God? Do you care about other people? Do you strive to be a kind, compassionate human being who considers others, who thinks about others, who puts people's needs sometimes before theirs? Not always, because you should care about yourself. But don't allow someone to put you in a position whereby you have to live a double life. You have to project a certain image in public, then behind closed doors you live another life. That makes you a much worse person than, just the person who is like an open sinner. That makes you, because you are an hypocrite, and that is much, much worse. I just like living my life honestly. Like, what you see is what you get. you know I have always, if you watch some of my videos, I've said I make mistakes. I am not perfect. There's a video I did that I was talking about how Christians are made to feel like they cannot make mistakes, and like you have to be perfect. You cannot have a flaw. That is not practical. You are a human being. And another thing I thought about is, are Christians allowed to listen to secular music? This is my take on that. Any music that does not glorify the right thing, glorify God, glorify good morals, then you shouldn't listen to that music. I listen to secular music, but I choose the kind of music I listen to. If a song does not convey a good message, then I don't listen to it. I don't just exclusively listen to gospel music. I listen to secular music, but I pick and choose my secular music. I don't just listen to any secular music. If I listen to a song and I feel that song doesn't have a good message, the message in that song is not good, whether you're a Christian or not, then I don't listen to that song. I pick and choose a song that speaks good message, that purposes to make the world a better place, not just anything. Anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. Just to get people to know me a little bit more, because I want you to know me the same way the people in my personal life know me, not projecting like, oh, I am this perfect. I only pray, read the Bible, and fast. There's nothing else I do. Let people live. And Christians, we need to stop being judgmental towards each other. It's so cruel when you cannot give someone grace. I remember growing up in church. I just want to talk about this. In some churches, you would find that if a Christian sinned, let's say, we used to call it backsliding, they would be stopped from, going to church. And I thought that doesn't make sense, because church is the place you go to repent, to pray, to ask for God's grace, to ask for mercy. And if you stop someone from going to church because they sinned, then what are you doing? How are you going to help this person? Anyway, let's give each other grace. Let's be kind to one another. Let's be compassionate with one another. Purpose to live right, to do according to God's will. Purpose to please God, not human beings. You should not stop to please human beings and forget. And our society nowadays, people only care about pleasing human beings. And they have just given God the middle finger. As long as they please the human beings, then they're okay. But that's not me. I care about doing the right thing. I care about pleasing God, not human beings. Because that is how it should be. That's how it should be. Because the minute you care about pleasing human beings and not God, then you start living again the double life. The life where you do horrible things behind closed doors, and then on Sunday you are perfect. You are at the pulpit, singing praise and worship, condemning people for their sins, but you are probably doing everything you're condemning them for, you know. So be the kind of person who where what people see is what they get, you know. Be honest with yourself. And a lot of people, you know, you can lie to everyone, but you cannot lie to yourself. That is the one thing you cannot do in this life. You can't lie to yourself. So purpose to be honest with yourself. And how do you do that? By living your life the same way you live in behind closed doors, is the same way you live in public. Just be honest. Be yourself. As long as you are following the word, as long as you are living under the 10 commandments, honestly, no one should make you feel bad because you don't follow some, you know, there's some religious protocols. There's a difference between spirituality and, you know, being religious. Those two things are different. Religious is man-made. Spirituality, that is now God, you know. But religion is man-made. Religion is where you're told you cannot dress a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you have to behave a certain way by other human beings. But spirituality is following what the Bible tells you. I am a spiritual Christian. Yes, my religion is Christianity. But I focus more on being spiritual as opposed to being religious, because, let me explain. Being religious, it means you are following the doctrines that human beings have set in place according to how they see it. But spirituality, you are following the doctrines that God has put in place. That is how I define spirituality and being religious to me. That's how I define it. So I choose to be spiritual, to follow God's doctrine, as opposed to follow man's doctrine, because man's doctrine is what puts you in that box where you have to do ABCD, live a certain way. But when you follow God's doctrine, you only care about that which pleases God. That's it. You don't care about anything else. So anyway, please purpose to please God, not human being. Let your life be for pleasing God, not for pleasing people, because that's not the right way to live. That's just a little bit of who I am. I'll be doing more of these videos now that I had the idea to do them, more videos about who I am, so that you guys can get to know more about myself and not just talking about faith. I also want to talk about who I am. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share, and also invite people to join this channel. And hit the notification bell so that the next time I have an episode, you'll be the first one to see it. Bye.